as a woman, you're still basically wanting to go 50-50. Why is that? I think part of that is because it's ingrained in us to not need someone. It's also ingrained in us to be independent. It's ingrained in us to be self-sufficient on every level, and to always prove a point of I'm not trying to use you. So I'm always trying to show up too. But that's because we're constantly told if somebody's constantly giving to us, you gonna come across you a gold digger. You asking to pay for dinner right now? She a gold digger. She ain't about to use my money. It's dinner. It's $55. You feel me? So I think a lot of that is this foundation of what we've been taught we have to show up as.
I do agree with that. I think that there also is a small percentage of women who enjoy paying 50-50, right? And they don't feel like they were conditioned to do it or anything like that.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie, and in this video we're talking about 50-50 relationships.
If both of the parties work, was the household responsibilities also divvied up 50-50 in your experience?
No, women are doing
I think
more.
women always get the short end of the stick.
Why I don't
Y'all
work.
perceive, y'all want to point it out.
That's why I don't like working as much.
They want to point it out to us like, oh, I'm going to pay 50%, I'm going to take care of this. But when the woman is taking on the brunt of the child rearing, she's cleaning, she's cooking, she's doing the laundry, treating your doo-doo stains in your drawers, it's totally unbalanced.
I agree. If I'm doing all of that, there's no way that I'm contributing to bills. Like, why am I, like, you're my child now. So, like,
you're our child too, because we have to financially.
No, if you're only doing finances, but it's a partnership. It's a partnership. If you're working, but I'm doing everything else, this is a partnership.
Now, relationships vary from couple to couple, and it really depends on the couple to figure out what works for them. A lot of men, they want someone to split the bills with, but won't split the household responsibilities too. If you're a man and your partner has to pay 50% of the bills, what do you take care of around the house? Especially if children are involved. If a woman is paying 50% of the bills, but she's also doing the cooking, the washing, the cleaning, taking care of the kids, keeping up with appointments, then what is your specific responsibility or your duty or your purpose as a man in that relationship?
Men do not want to hear that. You cannot have any type of respect if you're going 50-50, and men do know this. So if a man asks you as a woman to go 50-50, you're not the one, because he don't need your respect, because you're a placeholder. You're a placeholder, because he would never, if you were the one, he would never ask you to pay anything, because he would never get your respect, or you would never value him as a man. So he already plans to leave you if he's asking you for 50-50. He don't even care what you think of him. He don't even care if you respect him, because you're holding a place for the other woman that he's able to save for, since you're paying 50% of all the bills. Okay, so don't do it. It's never worth it. And they may say all the things that you want to hear, but in the back of their mind, you're not the one, because they know you don't respect them. Yet still, they have their hand out at bill pay time. So either they're in survival mode, they don't care if you respect them or not, which means they don't care if you ever see them as a real man. They're just there for survival. And if you were to stop paying, they would leave. So they're not really, into you as you thought that they were. Okay, so get out of that 50-50, Barbara the Builder, and we got to build together mentality, because that only helps the man, not the woman. And then they have the nerve to turn around and call you a gold digger when they're building on your back. That's why you don't ever pay for no bills in no grown man's house. You don't ever let a grown man live in your house without him paying all them bills, period.
I don't even think it's so much a matter of respect for me, but there are some women who they want a man who's going to pay all the bills, but she's not willing to do anything for his comfort in the relationship, because she's like, oh, well, he's not my husband, so I'm not going to cook for him. I'm not going to clean. I'm not going to do all of these things. But yet you are just resting in this masculine mindset, and you don't want to do anything for that man, even though that man is paying all of your bills. If the man is paying everything for you, then what are you doing for his peace and for his benefit and for him to rest in his masculinity and continue to be a provider and protector like what you want? What do you do in exchange for it? Because he can't be paying all the bills, but yet you expect him to come home and wash, and he washes, he cooks, he cleans, he takes care of the kids, he does everything, but you do nothing. Like, that's like 100 to 0. That's not even like 50-50 or anything like that at that point, if the woman is not is not willing to do anything in exchange for that man taking care of all the bills. But like I said, I think relationships vary from person to person. What might work for one couple might not work for the other. And it's up to that couple to really sit down and think about what they want to do for themselves and how they want to figure out their relationships for themselves. But in general, if a relationship is going to be 50-50, it's only fair to both parties that somebody gets equal benefits. So if the man is paying all of the bills, I think the woman should also think about all the other responsibilities of the home and for that man to feel at peace. And if they're going 50-50, then it should be 50-50 across the board, because you can't want the woman to pay 50% of the bills, but yet you come home, you don't do anything in the house, there are kids in the house, you don't know anything about these kids, you've never been to like a teacher's meeting, you've never like been to the school to see the teacher, you've never done any of that thing, and you want to go 50-50, then yeah, like something just isn't right there. Just be for real.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
Going 50-50 with a man in a healthy relationship doesn't exist. And this is going to be so controversial, but let's fucking do it. A man that is willing to go 50-50 with a woman is a man that still yet doesn't have the intention of being a financial provider. When a man says, I want my woman to provide for herself while still expecting her to raise his children, he's basically saying, I want my wife to be half of the man for me while still being all of the woman. This is an unbalanced equation of the feminine and masculine dynamic. When the woman is working to provide the other 50% while raising children, it will put her on survival mode, and she cannot fulfill her divine purpose as a mother to carry, nurture, and raise her children to be the highest reflection of their father. And then men say, I will not provide for you, I will not marry you, and I will not lead you. But I will fuck you, and if you get pregnant, we'll figure it out with no plan because I'm a man that lacks intention. This is why we have so many broken families and our communities are degrading. The masculine energy in our society is weak. It's why so many women have daddy issues. There's no real discipline, no focus, and no leadership from men anymore. At least not many. Instead, society wants to push women to be more masculine instead of providing the masculine support needed to uplift and protect their feminine essence.
Like, I agree. How do you expect me to be feminine if you have me resting in my masculine energy? I have to go out there and I have to work just as hard as you work to bring money into the household, to pay the bills, keep up with the kids, do everything that we need to do. I can't fully be feminine if I have to worry about everything just the same way that you do without you taking any load off me.
If you are in a relationship with a man and you're going 50-50 on the bills, that is your roommate. These men be wanting women to be submissive to them, but they don't want to take the role of being a man and being a provider.
Any man who is splitting costs 50-50 with a woman has a woman in his mind that he would not make pay for anything. Just remember that and become her.
Probably one of the most painful realizations about being in a 50-50 relationship is knowing that there is a woman that he will never ever go 50-50 with. That for some reason, you need to go 50-50 with him to be in a relationship with him, but some woman, all she has to do is show up. And once you realize that, it's very painful. It makes you feel less than. And sure, some men really are 50-50 to the core, but I'm telling you, a lot of men will never go 50-50 with their dream woman. Like, it's embarrassing for them. And a lot of the time, these young men will go 50-50 with a young woman because he is trying to elevate himself to be this provider man. So he will have you subsidize his bills so that he can focus on wealth generation so he can protect and provide for his dream woman. And that's really painful to hear, painful to understand, painful to experience, and then realize after you get out of your 50-50 relationship. And I really sympathize with the 50-50 girlies. I was one. It was not a vibe, and I got over it.
Those girls that talk about everything their boyfriends buy for them, like a Van Cleef necklace or a Tiffany ring, or my 4-year long-term ex, who was 5 years older than me, dating me when I was a broke college student, we went 50-50 on every single fucking date after our first date. Deadass, this man bought me a Fiji water bottle on our first date at the Getty Museum. And after that point, we split everything. I didn't think I'd ever go through this, and I've never gone through this until now. But this is our Venmo transaction history together. Like $7.70, I think on Udon groceries is probably what we split. $12, $35 for sushi, $10 for lunch and coffee. This man could not just get the $20 bill. Oh my god, $9 for tacos, $11 for poke, $8.50 for Thai food. Yeah, I was insisting on paying him, but he could have just been like, no, it's on me. I literally got a part-time job at UCLA at the library so I could pay for our dates. And he had a full-time career. I'm so mad. $6 for In-N-Out. $13 for pizza. Oh my god. Luckily here, I'm doing minus beer because I was 19. I could not drink alcohol. So he would just buy beer for himself because he was able to drink. And I would know in that moment, like, Joyce, don't pay for his drink. God, $7 breakfast burrito, $10 paddle boarding, $5 parking. Even in 2020, when we're dating, still it's happening. $10. Foods. Is this much okay? Like, I'm just guessing. I'm probably just... And I had no clue this was not, like, normal. I thought everyone and their boyfriends were all splitting 50-50 every single day. Like, what? I think this man has probably gotten me like a couple coffees just on him and then maybe a couple birthday dinners, but we split everything. We split our anniversary dinner. We split fucking getting just tacos in it. It was crazy to me. It's crazy. I'm really upset.
I think that relationships should be a partnership and both parties should decide on what makes them feel most loved, most appreciated, and most comfortable within that specific situation.
A man who asks you to go 50-50 does not love you. Let me go ahead and explain. Hello, my name is Carla and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. I want to go ahead and preface with saying this. All the women in my life have provider mindset men. My aunties are all stay-at-home moms. My mom is a stay-at-home mom. And I've seen how much their husbands adore them and love them. Because they adore them and love them, they don't want to overwork them. Remember, ladies, purposeful partners. All of my aunties, my mom, and even myself are with our partners for one purpose: family. To create a safe and harmonious home. We all value nuclear family. And because of this, we can only be with provider men that are capable of affording our lifestyle, being protectors, and can give us a life of ease. Because being a mom on its own is a huge responsibility, and men know this. And when a man falls in love, when a man is in love, the only thing he will worry about is his woman's happiness. We know this. Women are men's peace. That's why they gravitate towards feminine women. Because feminine women have mastered the art of self-regulating, having flow and systems that work for them so they're not stressed all the time, and they also don't compete with men. So I need you to ask yourself, has he asked you to go 50-50? This is more relevant for my ladies that are dating. If he's already asking you to go 50-50, you need to be careful. Don't bend your non-negotiables because you see potential. Ladies, be wise.
Share your thoughts below on what you feel about 50-50 relationships, and I'll see you in my next video.